son used to recreate with the coffee. And obviously this is kind of show where I
am. Why are you here? Watching you.
Why are you watching me? Yeah, I've got no doubt you're watching.
Doorway.
What is that? Doorway.
Doorway.
Good, yeah. I'm gonna open one now. Alright. Got a metal detector here, want me to make a change?
Stop recording. Tell me about it.
Tell you about it? Yeah, well that's what I was doing. That's what I'm saying. You know, that we should come back here. We should talk. But yes, welcome back to another video. So this video is about Blackstone Edge. So obviously I went last night and there's a couple of things that I want to just talk about. So there's a couple of things that I'm going to show you some clips and I'm going to talk to you about the history and how the history was, well obviously it's debated whether it's a Roman road or not, so I'm going to show you some of the documentation that I've got to show you that what they were saying. And it goes to so much more history about that road. But what's really interesting as well, that it's like the turn-off road where the tapas bar is, and I was getting activity, you know, constantly as I was walking down there. But it's history show. Flashing light. It's history shows. It's a 17th century lane, and I think the road that's there now, the A58, I don't think it was at that time. And I think that the road that I was walking down on the way back that was having so much activity was the old road, and obviously the A58 was put there now to for modernisation really. So I think that was the old Packard Trail, that Blackstone Edge Road, and you know, it went straight up. But obviously having torch flashes and just talking about this kind of stuff, so I've got no doubt maybe a shadow person will be next, I don't know, but you never know, do you? But no, an interesting place. We'll definitely have to go back, and I think I'll probably be doing a couple of videos there next, because it deserves so much attention, because of its history, unfortunately because of the deaths, and because of the I just personally think it's the oldest lane in Lancashire, or the most debated lane in Lancashire, so it definitely needs some more time, and we'll definitely be going back there and in and around there. So I'll probably be doing the next couple of videos in and around there, probably night and day as well. So enough of me talking now. We'll get into the snippets, and you know, I'll just talk you through what the history is saying, and then we can, you know, we can learn together about this road. But yeah, it's history tells once a tale that it needs to be told. So and obviously I want alone on top of that, on top of the medieval lane, there's obviously spirits from whenever, but I'll try and find that Agging Stone last night. I couldn't find it for some reason, but anyway, we'll stop talking. We'll get into the snippets. We'll get into the information, and if you like the video, give it a like, and then it always helps. Anyway, let's do it. Leave your voice in this device, and we can talk to each other. No? Go on. Come in front of me if you want to leave your voice. Come in front of me if you want to leave your voice. So this is a picture of the actual medieval lane that we're talking about, that was at last night, and obviously it's nice and trimmed here. It doesn't look like that now obviously, but this is it when it's like in its true form. So we'll look at some pictures too. This is the White House where the horse changeover was, where I was last night. And you can see the horses and the carts and stuff from back in the day, whenever, which is always really nice. And here you can see obviously the modernisation in the 17th century. There's a picture there of Ely's Hall, and obviously it was all part of one trail, I think, and maybe all started at Dyehouse Lane. I'm not quite sure, but this is obviously some more pictures. So let's look at some modern day stuff. This is a tapas bar. That's the road I was getting early activity on. As it breaks off the grey road, the green road's the main road, that's the new road, and the grey road I think is the old trail because it had you could see the evidence of it as the concrete's come away. And this is a bigger picture if you're not from the area. This is obviously Rochdale, and it's just around the side of Rochdale. But let's have a look at some of the details now. So Blackstone Edge was a turnpike trust established in 1734. And obviously it's talking about the heritage and the wide existing road between Rochdale and Elland. So it's saying in 1754 they had to widen the road because it was declared unusable. Such were further acts necessary. So obviously they had to make the roads bigger. And this is where the tapas bar would be to the right hand side. So let's have a look at some other pictures. This is the A58 looking downwards as Greengate had to move to Whiteleys Road as it had to make a connection somehow. And now it's talking about obviously the most famous road in the old Lancashire County, Blackstone Edge Road, the short section with its puzzling centre channel which has been a subject of intense debate as to its origin. And it's saying legendary Professor Ian Richmond as Roman then who would dare to question this. So it's an amateur, James Maxim, who had the audacity to challenge the professor, or the professional wisdom. His book Lancashire Line 1965, where he wrote what he wrote really and challenged him. So we'll look into the points that he made. Anyway, these are just some pictures from back in the day, which are always really nice to see. Absolutely beautiful. The A58 through Littleborough follows Blackstone Edge Turnpike in its final form before abolition, oblite with some changes, junction improvements, etc. However, the first turnpike followed early tracks on the packhorse ways with the initial Greengate to Whiteleys Road. And then it's saying the trust obviously demanded improvements in the 1770s and the 1780s. And this is a 4 sections of white, it's not a Roman road. There is nothing in its construction to indicate it could be Roman. There is no other Roman road like it. It has no foundation layer and essential feature of Roman road construction. Causeway begins abruptly on Lancashire side, hardly to be expected of the Roman road that presumably would have connected forts. It were dated from Roman times. Why would it later packhorse track be built alongside it when there was a substantial paved highway already there? It has to be later than the Packhorse Road. The 1734 Turnpike Act described the existing road over Blackstone Edge as narrow, deep, ruinous and impassable for wagons. Perhaps James Maxim should have entitled his book A Lancashire Red Herring. Maybe not. So let's have a look at some more evidence. The evidence for Blackstone Edge Road being Roman took a twist in 2012 when West Yorkshire Archaeological Services carried out detailed review. The survey concluding the road, if not of the 18th century, then could it be Roman after all? What were the concerns about? If the road was built in 1735, turnpike, the questions why was it so steep? Well, invariably the first turnpikes improved and straightened existing routes. It was only later into the turnpike era that trusts got more ambitious and built completely new routes. So the Blackstone Edge Long Causeway, the 1735 turnpike, fits perfectly with improving and straightening the existing horse road. Yes, it was steep, but that was the consequence of the route of the Packhorse Road took. The builders countless steepless with loop road bypassing the steepest section. So maybe that's why it's so steep. Maybe a shortcut, I don't know. So it says the builders encountered the steepness with a loop road bypassing the steepest section, and of course it had extraordinary solution. They also questioned whether the 1735 turnpike would have been abandoned so soon, 31 years, and replaced with Blackstone Edge Road in 1766. But the 1766 turnpike route itself was abandoned in just 29 years. The Long Causeway fits the evidence for it being the 1735 turnpike road. And obviously that just goes into the 4 points that we just mentioned before. So what do you think? Does it matter if it's a Roman road or not? Well, obviously, it's up for a debate. And this is what's really interesting about this area, the controversy. So let's just have a look at another picture here of Blackstone Edge and the Roman Road. So that's the Roman Road that obviously that we was at. In 1934, the Turnpike Act described the existing road as narrow, deep, ruinous and passable for wagons, which we mentioned before, and went on to add the existing road could not be mended, and again not really suggestive if an already existing 16-foot wide paved causeway. Perhaps the most intriguing statement in the Act was adopting an extraordinary mode of improvements. Blackstone Edge First Turnpike 1735, Blackstone Edge Old Road 1766, Blackstone Edge New Road 1795. And then it should obviously Google Earth Bleak View, and then it just mentions about more debate about it. And this is talking about Maxime's routes of various roads over the edge, overlaid onto the modern map. The routes are shown in key in chronological order. The medieval packhorse track passes under the proposed Roman road, or at least its zigzag loop road. There is little doubt that the loop road and the non-causeway are complementary, even if the loop was built much later. It really doesn't change the logic. Why would anyone build a medieval packhorse track alongside a 16-foot wide paved road? The long causeway has to be later than the packhorse track. The 1934 Turnpike Act described the existing road as narrow, deep, ruinous and impassable. So obviously we've spoke about that already, and again not suggestive for a 16-foot wide paved causeway, which is obviously the modernisation of the Industrial Revolution and the technology that was progressing quite quickly at that time. And this is Maxime's book, 1965, The Local, and it goes on about his book, and it's just going over what we've already spoke about the it don't fit the description of the road. So it's an interesting debate. Does it really matter in the present day? I don't know. I think to historians it will do, but I think the debate goes on. But either way, you've got like what I described as it's not been identified really, has it? So either way, it's interesting, especially with the all the notorious things that come with it, like the UFO sightings and the religious gatherings and stuff like that. So anyway, I'll go on to some pictures and some video evidence if you've not seen my latest video. So this is the A58, obviously at night time, just as the moon rises, and it's the modern. This is some of the old Packard trail, I think. You can see the old trail, or the old cart trail, whatever. This takes to the road. Well, it's called the Roman Road on Google. But like I said before, some archaeologists did a survey and they said they made 3 points why it worked Roman Road. If you can find the file up, I'll show you. So the drains are to the left-hand side, I think, something like that, yeah. And obviously it's not been used for that time. Just obviously it's a marsh that's took over now. But it's a beautiful view. Hopefully the moon comes up soon. It usually comes up about 11 o'clock. So we've got the green pen tonight, and we'll see what we can capture. I'm in the middle of nowhere, so it's usually a good combination. Anyway, I'll stop here and we'll try and save some power as we move forward. But it's just had to capture this now, as I've got no doubt my video will be full of good views and that at night time. Sweet. See you soon.
False.
False. So I'm just using the book on the lane to see what we can get, what kind of activity. Okay, to get the pings, the magnet pings.
Doorway.
What did it say? Doorway.
Doorway.
He said, yeah. I'm going to open one now. I think this is one of the most underrated places for paranormal activity, to be honest. This lane's got the potential to be the #1 spot in the UK for paranormal activity, without a shadow of a doubt. As time passes, I'll try to prove my point with that. So what you're about to see is me use a book, and this always enhances communication back and forth. I'm gonna go sparks. I don't know if you've seen them, yeah. See them? We've got, yeah, there we go.
Psychic.
Psychic. Keep saying that, don't you? never know, it might be, but we're getting milligauss spikes off the book, which is good, which is what I wanted. So that's the first bit of evidence. So I'm going to open the real talk for you if you want, and you can come and talk if you want, because I can tell that they want to talk. Wow. Oh, power attack.
Power attack biotic droid.
You can come and choose the words in here if you want.
Started scanning.
Spikes.
Pen.
Pen. Right, 1 second.
Doorway.
You said yeah, but I'm trying to open one now. So there's a pen. I like the green pen. And I've just put some modern day pictures in, and that looks funny. That actually a different colour. The area of that map, and it's just the information board I was reading off, and then the White House currently as it sits today. Anyway, peace. Hopefully see you all soon.